Hello, my name is Rebecca Taylor. For my Do Something and Report It project, I toured a location of the Elk River Resource Recovery Project. The Resource Recovery Program is an outreach of the Great River Energy Cooperative and is designed to convert waste to energy in order to be used by consumers. Waste to energy facilities such as the Elk River plant contribute to the total energy output of the United States each year. Before I go into more detail about the Resource Recovery Project itself, I'll first give a little background on the Great River Energy Cooperative. Great River Energy is Minnesota's second largest electric power supplier behind Xcel Energy. It is a nonprofit electric co-op whose 11 power plants in Minnesota and North Dakota supply energy to over 1.7 million people. To keep up with Minnesota's Next Generation Act from 2007, which mandates that all utility companies must provide at least 25% of their electricity from renewable sources by the year 2025, Great River Energy has since then opened 3 out of the 8 renewable energy power plants that are currently running in Minnesota. The Elk River plant is one of these locations. As I stated before, the main objective of the Elk River Resource Recovery Project is to generate usable electricity from discarded waste products. The entire waste-to-energy process, which occurs 24 hours year-round, is a combination of complicated procedures that requires the use of 2 separate facilities, the resource processing plant and the energy recovery station. For this assignment, I had the opportunity to tour the resource processing facility and learn more about where and how the recovery process works. In this slide, you can see a picture of me with a hard helmet on at the processing plant. This photo was taken right before we entered into the waste warehouse area. Okay, so now that I have laid the groundwork for the recovery project, let's go into more detail about how the process actually works. So the whole process starts at the resource processing plant. Garbage, known as municipal solid waste or MSW, is brought in from various sources around the state. Once delivered, the waste is dumped into a huge warehouse holding center until transferred into special machines that sort, cut, and prepare the unwanted materials to be brought to the energy producing site. In this slide, you can see a picture of the waste warehouse and several of the machines in action. And after the waste has completed the processing phase, it is then known as refuse-derived fuel, or RDF for short. Nearly 95% of all municipal solid waste that is brought to the processing plant is eventually transformed into refuse-derived fuel. This fuel is then transported by trailers to the Elk River Energy Recovery Station. From here, the RDF is unloaded and pushed through multiple conveyors which dump the fuel into massive boiler systems. These boilers are large-scale furnaces that burn the RDF and by doing so create heat. This heat is then transformed into electricity through a delicate heating and cooling condenser process that uses water to create steam. The resulting generated electricity is then sent out to customers across the state. Okay, so now that we know a little more about how the intricate waste-to-energy process operates, why should this subject matter? In other words, what are the overall energy implications for consumers? Well, there are several reasons behind why this topic should be important to us. First of all, let's talk about energy production on a national level. Today, there are currently 71 waste-to-energy facilities running in the United States. Combined, these plants produce 2.3 gigawatts of electricity per year. Statistics indicate that the amount of energy generated from these waste-to-energy facilities accounts for a mere 0.4% of the total U.S. energy production. However, the energy generated by these facilities is considered clean, renewable, and environmentally friendly. 1 ton of MSW burned at a waste-to-energy facility produces fewer emissions than 1 pound of garbage burned in a household burn barrel. In other words, although the amount of energy produced by waste-to-energy plants does not contribute significantly to the total energy production, this electricity is considered a renewable energy source for consumers. Now that we've discussed waste-to-energy on a national scale, let's take a closer look at the energy produced from the Elk River location and how it affects the state and local levels. So the state of Minnesota can generate a little over 123 megawatts of energy per year from its waste-to-energy facilities. The Resource Recovery Project annually provides only 29 megawatts of electricity. Although this number pales in comparison to the state total of electricity produced, it is still an important addition to Minnesota and its local and surrounding communities. The Elk River Resource Recovery Project is valuable to consumers because it provides clean, renewable electricity for up to 25,000 households per year. The community as a whole also benefits from this energy production because the Elk River Resource Recovery Project contributes $25 million to the annual local economy and provides 90 full-time positions to local workers. Finally, the Resource Recovery Project is beneficial to the environment. Every year, over 300,000 tons of municipal solid waste is brought to the processing plant and eventually converted into refuse-derived fuel. This minimizes the amount of waste that is dumped into Minnesota landfills and provides a clean, environmentally friendly way for consumers and businesses to get rid of their trash. To summarize, the Elk River Resource Recovery Project is a well-planned process that converts waste materials into clean electricity. The Elk River facility, which has been running for 25 years, is a beneficial addition to the state of Minnesota. Its annual production level of 29 megawatts of energy contributes minimally to the 2.3 gigawatts of energy to waste electricity generated by the U.S. each year. However, the multi-step process of transforming refuse is a well-designed system that has and will continue to benefit the state of Minnesota now and into the future.